So, how about them our generic medieval fantasies?
Is that the go button or not?
That's probably the go button.
Alright then. According to last time and my notes and what you all managed to do and not do, you have actually made it to the small town of Goldberry. Goldberry is not a very impressive town. It is mostly impressive simply be the nature of its market. It does draw from the surrounding lands pretty decently. On the road, you did in fact encounter a pair of Templars, one of which you recognized. However, thanks to some sly wordplay and just a little bit of lying your pants off, you managed to convince them that, oh, no, it wasn't. No. And then, of course, convinced of your innocence due to their trusting nature, they decided to have you watched after going down the road, maybe half a mile. Thankfully, you didn't notice this, and being, the kind of scoundrels that keep an eye out for that kind of thing, you were able to double trick them and possibly convince them of your innocence just due to the nature of laying low. Though, by doing so, it did require you to sort of split the party, half of which were spent a couple days extra in the woods, being lost and miserable. On arrival, you quickly separated again into various tasks, I'm going to call them. Valeria overheard a pair of knightly sorts, discussing and arguing over some merits of their particular way of doing things, mentioning a horrible bear thing with multiple legs that one of them lost their sword in, offering the sword as a reward if she could bring it back. She attempted to, but Valeria, despite the help of her new hunting dog, could not track the beast down, and having a horse that just wasn't fucking up for this did not help matters. Renlishin decided to actually take the goods and see if he could sell a few things they'd picked up, just the goods in general, just, be a good salesman. And did far better than he ever imagined. And through the nature of his haggling and being what he is, he seems to have convinced the town he is some sort of Dalish prince or something, and, well, that's what happens when you show up with fine wine and jewelry. Cerebus and Mogren had a startling adventure in the woods where they mostly got lost, had to sleep in trees, and saw a horrible giant spider monster with a sword stuck in it. So that was interesting. However, beyond that, they returned roughly around the same time Valeria's failed hunt did, to discover Rindlishin being, I want to say harassed, severely encumbered by large numbers of women. Let's go with that.
Harangued.
Harangued works too, I suppose. You have now reconvened after just a little bit of browsing through not much. Valeria herself did actually spend some of her share. Beyond that, though, you've mostly just reconvened with one another. And thus we begin where they are, with Renlishin being harangued by large numbers of local women.
Harangue.
Get some lemon meringue pie.
Lyra, would you like to put... it's not ready yet, but I'm wondering where you're going to put that armor you bought.
Well, it's going to have to go into the cart when the cart isn't currently being sold.
Point stands.
If I remember right, we broke while it was still kind of midday of the market. So
Correct. It is still midday, high sell time, and the others are free to wander, and hell, you could close stall, figure quotes, if you wanted to go shopping yourself. Now would probably be the best time to do so if you wanted to get the most selection.
Yeah. Rin will ask if anyone wants to watch the cart for a bit while he checks out the market himself. He hasn't yet had the opportunity to, having been all alone with a whole cart to sell and protect.
Fourth.
I guess fireball at the house.
The house reflects it. It swings its sword and reflects it back at you.
Damn it. Damn houses with swords.
So no volunteers to watch the stall, then?
Sure, I'll watch it.
All right, now the trick to getting a good sale is to make sure that they think that you're giving them a good deal when you jack the price up through the roof. Okay.
Okay, so like this. Hey, human. If
No,
you
no, no,
buy
no.
this for 75 silver, I won't crush your head.
No. I mean, if he says it, he says it, but here's Rin going, no, right behind him.
Somehow I think our sales are about to go down.
Probably.
Human looks at Cerebus, looks at Rin, looks at Cerebus, runs away.
Did I do good?
No, that's why he ran away.
I thought we were supposed to preserve this to bring it to Orzammar.
No, the boss gave us this to just hawk and then stay away for a season or two. He wants the money back when we're finished, but it's just to get us out of the way. Question: I've probably become intimately familiar with the contents of this wagon over the past couple days.
Ew.
Thank you.
Stop fucking the wagon.
No. Go on then.
What would you say is the nominal value of everything that's left in the cart? Or rather, everything that was in it when we left
Assuming fair prices for people who actually want this stuff,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
Ozamar probably would, to be honest, you're looking at around, where are my calculations? Between 5,000 and 10,000 silvers.
Okay. Yeah, there's about 5,000. Yeah, there's about 50 to 100
About.
gold. 50 to 100 gold worth in the cart.
Not really. It's like I said, it'd really only be worth that much. People who are actually after this, which would be just really frontier towns near deserts, Ozamar, and like maybe Tevinter on like a bad day.
Yeah. I just wanted to have an idea of how much, on the assumption we do eventually want to get that money back to the boss and not have him send headhunters after us too, how much we're expected to have on us by then.
The expectation seems to be, at least according to your knowledge of value and things to that, between 5,000 and 10,000 silvers, which can calculate down to about 50 to 100 gold.
Okay. So yeah, tell you what.
Well, those aren't watermelon, those are a particular kind of ore.
Tell you what, Cerebus, don't try too hard to sell anything. Only if someone really wants it. No volunteering people to be sold to. And assuming that should be good enough, Rin disappears into the crowd.
Rosie, would you like to buy this brick?
No.
About 5 seconds later, everything lights on fire.
Oh, crap, the horse talked to me. I'm out of
God damn it.
Is anyone else going off to shop? Really? No one? Alright.
Debating.
Didn't say that.
I don't have anything to buy.
That's mostly
You
what I'm
don't know
debating.
that. There aren't any items useful for mages in this setting.
I'll take your gold then.
Cerebus, I'm going to tell you right now, yes, there are. They're just not the sort of things. They're like swords and things.
I only have one.
Now you got your share. You all should have a couple gold there.
Okay, yeah, I have 1 gold. That's 100 silver, so.
Yeah, you should all have a gold now, at least. That was part of your share, and that's a fair amount of money.
Yeah, I have to figure out what I have left now that we sold a few more things. Because you already spent a good amount of it.
Unless I can get one of those ridiculous mage hats.
You could probably get a ridiculous mage hat.
Logren will also go off looking for shopping.
Which one of you? Which humans need bricks? Come see the Sarabas for the bricks.
People tend to keep their distance from you. You're spooky.
I can't watch this.
Our sails are on fire.
Push, push, push,
I
push,
like my
push,
hand
push,
up.
push.
Now, do we have a recap of what kind of general shops we saw? Because I know there was the blacksmith.
Alright, there is the expected general shops that a town like this needs to have. Things like a leather worker, a blacksmith, a tailor, etc. Those are just you need, period. However, because of midday and the market, there are actually several stands selling things that are different. There's a dwarf who, without tattoos, most likely a surfacer just born here, selling what is essentially jewelry. However, most of the farmers don't seem interested in it. He just seems, I don't know, he seems like the sort of person who shows up, sells nothing, and just shows up every time. So there's that weirdness. There's another fellow over there who's selling hunting supplies, and there's a fellow over, there's a lot of fellows. So to narrow it down, I'm going to ask what you're looking for in particular. Like, what you're like, are you after weaponry? Are you just after anything that catches your eye? And you're going to do a quick, it's basically an exploratory roll, so I'm going to make it a cunning roll to see what you can discover. Alrighty. We're going to start with the person who jumped off first. Ren Lashin, please make me a cunning roll, or you just tell me what it is you're searching for in particular.
You've actually given me all the information I need. I don't need to do any further searching.
Okay.
To the blacksmith, I should like to, if possible, sell my... Let's see here. Double checking. Oh, hold on. Do I require a talent for that? I should like to upgrade from my light mail to light plate.
Can you wear
But
that?
that's what I'm trying to confirm. I have novice armor training, but there's nothing in the actual armor section, and the bookmarks in Adobe are rather terrible. Do I need journeyman first?
To wear without a big penalty. Yeah. You can wear up to heavy mail.
All right, I shall make do with that. I should like to sell my light mail, notional value 50 silver, and upgrade to heavy mail, notional 75. Does he have heavy mail to sell?
See. I'm checking his stocks. He do. He wants 200 silvers for it, and is willing to give you 125 for your current.
So 75 out of pocket?
Mm-hmm. Essentially.
Sold.
Alright, there you go then. Transaction is made. He mostly just yells at his apprentices to move this here and that.
I also have for sale... Just a second, make a note of that.
And yes, the prices are supposed to be wonky, because this isn't like a proper town.
Yep. I should also like to sell my now useless mall.
Okay. Nominal value. His space is...
Looking it up.
Is it a Sky Mall?
Notional value 14 silver.
Thank you. Mall. Problem with the mall is not really useful, but just a tool. He's only really willing to give you, double checking, 10 silvers for it.
Good enough for me.
You can haggle using communication if you want to try, but...
I suppose I haven't had to do this in this system before. The penalty of failing is what? Failing to improve the price, or...
Generally failing to improve the price and making him, like, other stuff unhaggleable is, like, the worst case scenario, unless you do something real stupid and he throws you out.
Okay, affects future bargaining, not worsens the current bargain.
Correct.
Okay. I have no reason not to try it then.
Hmm.
Plus 0.
He is decidedly unimpressed with your haggling and sticks to his price of 10 silvers, you pointy-eared fuck.
I
Can you
sell
use the
him
stunt point for anything, though?
only if I
He lost.
succeed. Yeah.
Ah, that's too bad. Okay.
Alright, I sell them all.
Alright, you have 10 silvers to your name.
Well, 10 new silvers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's... Alright, that still leaves me with the Silverite Axe, my throwable battle axe, and my longbow. And I also would like to go see that dwarf who appears to be selling jewelry, and no one seems to be actively at his stall.
Okie dokie. Let's check here. Yes, you would make it to him before the others start getting this stuff. So yes, let's get deal with him first, and I'll move on to the next person. So you're at the dwarf stall. Funnily enough, now that you're close enough to actually get a look at it, it's not usual jewelry. At least stones aren't usually your fraction of jewelry. It's harder to. It's basically there's no other word for it. These have to be runes or something because they're chunks of rock and sometimes precious minerals with things carved on them. You're going to assume they're runes or dwarf language, because hell if you know.
I ask him, what manner of wares are these? It doesn't look like any jewelry I'm acquainted with.
I don't want to imagine you being acquainted with much jewelry, unless them rumors be true. As it be, these here are special. Not from Ozermarth, who, I mean, technically they might make them there, I don't know. It's something special me and my family came up with. Folk around here don't ever really pick them up, but every now and then, maybe for health. You ever feel, how to put this, not good enough? You know, you pick up your axe, go cut down a tree, and just, you're weak-limbed and all that. This will fix that. Prices range depending on what precisely you want, but what do you want?
Well, what sort of inadequacies are popular?
Mostly those of the physical variety, because, you know, folk can only ever think in the physical. There are a couple of them, like, you know, the most popular one is the constitution one that folk get sick, frail, and they take that one and it clears up right quick. Second most popular is probably the one that makes them chop down trees faster, you know, the big muscly kind and that sort.
So, were you meaning to say constitution?
Probably.
He meant constipation.
Your health, lad, your health.
Oh. I've never heard of someone selling that without, you know, also having a very fast horse nearby.
Lad, these be runes of power passed down through generations in Ozamar until they chucked my grandfather out and he took them with him. Though they probably have their own. Point stands, we can still make them, hard as it be, and, well, we sells them here, because if we sells them in the capital, they'll come take them from us and make excuses and, you know, a whole shitting lot. Though the mages generally order a few now and then, and that's my father's business. I handle this, and father handles the, you know, foreign crap.
So what sort of price does a rune of constitution
Gold.
fetch?
A gold.
10 whole gold?
Aye, 100 silvers, 10,000 copper, 1 gold.
1 trillion shells.
Do you have any proof of their potency or samples?
I mean, you can ask the locals. Grandma.
They don't
Grandma.
seem to be biting on your wares.
Of course not. They only take my wares when I need them.
Oh.
It's the sort of thing they save up for. It's like, Nana, I don't know. Some old grandma lady fell sick 2 winters ago. Alright? And she old. You know, humans get old, all that business. And so his family digs into their coffers and gives me a gold. I give one of me constitutions. And she's fixed right up. She shakes it off and still around.
Well, for
Somewhere.
such a high price, I'll certainly have to go talk with her. But will you still be at market tomorrow?
Takes money every day that we're here and not making a sale. We only really show up to see if there's any newcomers who might be interested. You seem so. Alright. Might be here tomorrow.
Well, then I look forward to finding your business.
Mm-hmm.
And Rin wanders off
Cool.
through the rest of the rest of the market, having not actually found the jewelry he thought he was going to find there. He is going to try and see if anyone's making even just little trinkets and such, but we can get back to Rin for that.
Because the Mogroad is you were left next, so it's your turn.
Well, I'm looking for one thing in particular, which is an upgrade to my armor, but I would not find that at the blacksmith.
Probably not.
Because I want a tailored leather duster.
That would be at the Leatherworkers.
If at all possible, I'd also like concealed pockets on it, but I know that most people wouldn't actually ask for that.
Well, you enter the Leatherworkers, and it's run by, first off, well, you'd say 8 women, but it's more like 3 women, because there's basically 3 women bustling around and moving leathers and, like, putting up things, and that's one. One of them turns to you and goes, "Oh, sweetie, what could you want?" Your horse will need new saddling.
Mogren's just going to pat his chest, where he's currently wearing his leather armor. Something better than this.
That would be the blacksmith, dear.
Not really in the practice of wearing metal for that.
Oh. So what would you want us to do? I suppose we could... I mean, there is something we could whip up, but it would be very pricey.
Depends on what definition of pricey you use.
Well... could you get it out of the... Thank you. We have a bit of, it was mostly just, we got a request, and he never showed, because it turns out... It doesn't matter. Point is, Gertrude was working on this, and I dipped my hand in a little, and... Well, we made this coat out of, some very fine leathers, and, well, we'll have to show you. And it takes a bit to bring it out, but, it's essentially what you're already wearing. The difference is what you're wearing is basic, leather. This seems to be much, much finer leather. So you'd presume there's a plus in there somewhere.
But it
And
is
appraise
leather
would tell-
armor.
So leather armor, yes. And appraise would tell you better how much or how little a plus this is.
I can throw an appraise at it. I think appraise is one of the things... No, I don't
Cunning.
actually have that. I have evaluation. I don't have appraise.
Evaluation will do that. So, that's about right. I'll allow it.
+3.
Christ almighty. Okay, well, this is a
Heck,
plus
no,
2
use sub
set.
points. Seduce it.
No, no, not allowed. No, negative.
The dwarf comes out of the leather worker with 3 women following him.
Do it.
No.
We know what you're really buying at the leather workers.
I like to use the stun points, but go on.
What the hell would I use on that? Hold on.
Seduce the leather.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to figure out whether or not it took me a minute to go find it, so yes. I wrote down some translations in a cheat sheet.
Yeah, you're looking under role-playing stunts, and yeah, you. Well,
Got
I
all
suppose
6.
you could. Suppose you could spend it on flirt, but yeah, things like and another thing, sway the crowd, tower of will, things like that improve your position in the rest of the conversation.
Oh yeah, she called you sweetie. Flirt.
You have 6. Pick something.
Well, actually, tell me what it is first.
Oh, the armor.
Yeah.
Assuming this isn't just your roll on but you beat it anyway by a far margin. +2. It's what you're wearing, +2.
And what I'm wearing is already rating 3. Alright. Alright, well I got 6 stunt points. Yeah, fuck it. I am gonna go for the flirt, and I'm gonna do and another thing.
Sigh.
And another thing, want to come back to my room tonight?
Hardy har har. No, actually, sorry, not and another thing. Sway the crowd.
And the mechanical choice, the mechanicals of that, please.
How would all of you like to come back to my room tonight?
Flirt doesn't actually do anything besides making the person like you. Like, at its extreme, of course, it's a romantic thing, but... sway the crowd just makes it so it affects more than one person in the area.
All of you, come have an orgy with me.
No. So Mogren's identified the armor, the coat.
Okay, yep.
Well, I gotta admit, that is some good leather working right there.
Thank you.
I was not expecting to find anything of that skill in here.
It took a long time, but I wish it was worth it. The fellow just hasn't showed. Though it's nice to pull out and look at.
Oh, yeah, it's a real shame that he didn't show up for that. How much do you think you could give that one over to me for?
Oh, sweetie, let's see.
So I should like to point out, with the combination that he asked for here, flirt, he has to immediately make an opposed communications seduction versus willpower self-discipline test.
Well, this will be amazing. Go on.
Before, if he wins, that character becomes enamored with his.
As I said, this will be amazing.
Ow.
And then sway the crowd. Your interpersonal effects are so effective they spilled over onto others in the area, and you affect one additional person of your choice past the original target.
Which I guess would just be the other person she said worked on it.
Yeah.
I'm more thinking Valeria's earlier quip is more and more on target here.
Yep. Go on,
So,
buddy.
in any
Roll.
case, it's a communication roll.
Yes, with focus in seduction. Surely you have that.
Oh, of course he does.
no,
All dwarves come
unfortunately
with
not.
that.
That's what Rin's got, isn't it?
Yes. It is.
+1, not the greatest.
Let's see. And their opposed is based on willpower?
Mm-hmm.
Willpower self-discipline.
In that case, +5. So, no, they're not very impressed with the flirty dwarf. They find it
Well, they
cute,
are,
but...
there's no negative effect. Just
I know, they find it cute, but they're not, enamored of you.
What about the second person?
Fair enough.
Do I roll again, or do I?
Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, but the
I'm
question is,
supposed
do
to
I?
roll again. Go ahead.
Okay, nothing happens. Worth the
Third
shot.
lady? Oh, right,
No, it was only two.
Okay. They are not enamored of you.
Still, that is
Yeah,
actually
it's-
very good leatherworking.
Yes, it is.
In any case, onwards.
They're willing to part with it for no more and no less than a gold 15 silvers.
Hmm. Okay, that actually, I've got something I gotta get off my back for, money. I'll be back just a few minutes.
Okay, dearie, it won't be going anywhere unless some rich prince comes in.
Cue the elf.
Pretty
Yes,
much.
cue the elf. Yeah, no, Mogren's still carrying his other crossbow, so...
They're not actually all that old. They're definitely matronly, but not all that old.
Yeah, if they were old, they wouldn't be doing this.
Pretty much that, yeah.
But in any case, yes, Mogren needs to go sell the old crossbow of his.
Where would you like to try and sell that at?
I guess that's a blacksmith thing still?
It'd be more of the Fletchers.
Oh yeah, Fletchers, yeah, I forgot they're separate things.
Well, you have to wander to the Fletchers, so Valyria has a chance to do a thing. So, Valyria, where are you going?
Alright, so
The rain slobbers on your leg, happily.
Lorraine is actually the thing I want to look for.
You
Items
found the dog,
for-
good job.
No. Items. She wants to try to find any kind of protective gear, collar, otherwise.
That's a cunning test to see if you can find anything, or it might be something sort of blacksmith might be able to make for you.
Well, that's cunning. That's for a total of 14.
With the rain helping the way, you discover... here we go. There is a fellow who's selling what is essentially hunting supplies, and some of those hunting supplies include things for hunting dogs. It's a rather short man. He's not a dwarf, he's just rather short. A little taller than a dwarf, but not by much. And skinny on top of that. Looks like the sort of person who you would underestimate and then would knife you in the liver. Very shifty-eyed. However, he takes one look at you and tips his head. Ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Noon and all.
You look like the sort that could have something I'm looking for. I'm looking for protective equipment for my dog here. We're going on a hunt here soon.
He has to, go around his own counter to look at the dog proper, and Lorraine wags her tail. My hat. Measuring dog. Looks at you. Brow raised.
Okay, out of character, what the hell did you just say?
Measuring dog. Yeah, he's supposed to have a very thick, incomprehensible accent, so...
What does it even mean? Measuring dog? What?
Yeah.
He needs to measure the dog to know how to fit it.
Oh, I assumed he needed his tiny dog that he used to measure things.
No.
I actually wondered. I wonder if he had, was expecting me to have one of those dogs.
This is a tiny dog designed to measure things. No, he needs to measure your dog and is asking permission.
Go right ahead. Choose friendly enough.
Wanders over, lets Lorraine sniff his palms, gives her a nice rub. Lorraine looks happy, and spends a minute or two just measuring the beast. Gets up, wanders back over to counter, ruffles around, and produces what looks a lot like full plate for a dog. Got that?
What?
You heard me. It's basically a jumble. It looks like just a jumble of metal until he spreads it out, and then it's like, well, that would be something you'd see on a horse, but on a dog. Is that it? Measuring dog, goodness. He just sort of gestures at it, and I'm going to assume you inspect it.
Yes, you will.
Alright, from what you can tell, and what little you know of armor just because you wear the stuff, Lorraine would definitely fit in this, and it'd come with all the drawbacks of putting a dog in armor, I suppose. Same as a horse. It's like, yeah, this would definitely protect Lorraine very well, but it'd slow her down, it'd be clumsy, and all the drawbacks armor usually comes with. I mean, it'd also be a fucking armored dog, so that'd be kind of amazing.
Out of character, how fast does she even move?
You I had that written down for you. I gave it to you. You should have it. It's on the list. The answer is real fucking fast.
No, it's not. You have her at speed 10.
That's how fast she moves.
That's the same as how fast I move.
Oh, that's weird. Well, that's how fast dog goes, so there it is.
That's
I
not
move
that
speed
fast.
12.
That is a slow dog.
Why are dogs so slow? I'm gonna double check that.
Big, heavy wrestle things down, dog.
It
My
can
speed's
usually,
12. I'm
they
faster
can usually
than your dog.
sprint faster than a human. They just don't have the endurance.
Oh, this thing is trained in like running and endurance and all those things, so it could probably get some pretty good speed, but I find it odd.
A base speed of 10 doesn't actually sound all that off to me, considering how the movement operates in this game. You're meant to sprint if you want to sprint.
Oh, for some reason that's wrong. I must have not updated. Sorry, speed 16.
There we go.
I don't know. What did I say? Maybe I got confused with something else. Yeah, point is speed 16. Dog's supposed to be fast. Weird. Anyway. Yeah, she's not any slower than a normal dog would be. Speed 16. But that would lower her speed by as much as heavy plate would lower someone's speed. So a lot.
Before I ask for anything else, how much would that run me?
He muses. Gold 50. 1 gold, 50 silver.
Yeah. Well, that is quite an investment. I also don't think she will be well suited to the weight. Do you have anything perhaps a bit lighter?
He reduces a harness. Hard to describe this harness without evoking armor, but it looks a bit like the sort of thing a sled dog might wear, but a little more reinforced. Listen.
And by inspecting it, can she tell at least roughly equivalency here?
It would definitely be a leather. Weight would favor light leather.
I see. What would then this one cost me?
Yeah. 3 silvers. Well, Ferelden and gold coins would. They would have the symbol of the king on one side, obviously, and the other side would be Ferelden's crest, which involves dogs, so...
They're all playing poker. That's just awful.
Point stands, he wants 40 silvers for the light leather armor for Lorraine.
Well, she'll give an attempt at bargaining it down, which is, I believe, a cunning roll.
Yeah, if you don't have...
+3, no stunts.
Shouldn't
after some
bargaining
decent...
be communication?
Yeah, it should be communication, actually. He's
Then
right.
+2.
Well, either way, you won, like, a lot. I mean, he has a good score in both of those, but you crushed him. It takes some talking down and some heavy listening to understand what the fuck he's even saying. But eventually he seems to get tired of the conversation altogether and just waves his hand and says, 5.
I'll take that.
Okay, you pass him 5 silvers and now have a light leather harness for Lorraine.
May I get actual stats? Just like literally light
Sure.
armor, or
It is like light leather armor rating 3, armor penalty 0. The difference is it's also a +1 set because it's better than normal leather, because that's why he was charging more. So it's now armor rating 4, armor penalty 0, etc. It's made of reinforced leather rather than just leather. You gotta gyp the guy, but he's selling for dogs, so, you know.
funny enough, that now makes the dog have as much defense as she does.
Happy Lorraine Tailwag. Anything else you want off this fella? He's selling more things. It depends on what you're after.
I mean, she might give a look, but other than maybe like a treat, it's not likely she'd be looking for a tremendous amount.
In that case, I need a cunning roll and actually 2 cunning rolls, yeah. One after the other, please.
I do guess she would look to see if he had randomly any hunting style pole arms, because that could be something, because she doesn't know what she's off hunting.
Mm-hmm. And the other one? Okay, it takes you
So
a
11 and a
bit.
15. Sorry, 11 and 18.
Okay, in that case, yeah. Well, number 1, you find them, and number 2, you recognize them. There is cannabis. Well, some cannabis, anyway. And, well, do what you want about that. But
Okay.
more interesting amongst that is, let's see here, hunting. Got a long list of hunting. Here we go. There's a lot of leather gear I don't think you'd be interested in. You wanted a pike and you said a hunting?
She's just looking for hunting weaponry that happens to be there.
Mostly bows, arrows, some traps. Lots of traps, actually. Mostly of the snatch kind. Where is it? Give me a second, I'm looking through. You got like everything on the damn list, so I'm just kind of... Oh, and there's some caddis. Forgot about this. He only has the one, but yeah. Technically it's there.
Wait, there's some what?
Oh, Manabari War Paint.
Does that still affect them like it does in the actual game?
Men and berries?
Presumably it would.
She'll nod at that and go, I assume you don't get to sell that very often.
Nah, most folk aren't into that kind of heavy stuff.
I'm not most.
If you want, it's 50 silver.
Bargaining begins. Plus 2 on that.
No, it's a little different. You want to do what now? Bargain?
She's gonna bargain, of course.
Well, roll your bargaining.
I did. That's
She did.
14. It comes out
Total
as
of 16.
For communication, or then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, alright, he might actually have got you here. So 16. You have tied, so roll off again.
Stunt points.
You win.
Okay.
Spend your stunt points.
If it would stop lagging and let me look at the page.
You want page 433 for this, by the way.
Yeah, it's not. That's not the problem. It was trying to load everything apparently at once.
Wait, trying to load everything. You do have the PDF downloaded, don't you?
Yes, I do. It just was. Don't ask me why. It shouldn't even take time to load.
Using what PDF reader?
Foxit?
Weird.
Yeah, it doesn't normally have this problem.
You should use Microsoft Edge. It's way better.
Ugh.
I am actually using that as my PDF reader right now.
I couldn't do it.
I don't actually have any problems with it at the moment. It loads the page, I can scroll down, I'm happy.
Oh.
I honestly can't think of much to add to this, so...
Your options being Tower of Will, you carry +1 bonus for any more opposed tests. Apart for the rest of the current role-playing exchange, you gain a +1 bonus to opposed tests where someone tries to put you at disadvantage. Flirt.
Which does include bargaining with you.
Jest, where...
I guess as opposed by what we mean the current role-playing exchange, she's probably about to be done with this guy.
Yep. Stunned Silence, Sway the Crowd, and Another Thing, and Bon Mot.
Yeah, but I don't have anything witty to say. So...
Well, see if you can get him to toss something in gratis with And Another Thing.
Yeah, you know what? Why not? Why not? Let's see, so I'm assuming I need to roll for this. Yeah, I'll probably need to roll another haggling check, basically. Hmm. Does he have any sort of saddle nearby?
Actually, yes, he would technically have horse saddles.
Then she'll try to get him to combine that in
Alright then.
at a 16.
Well, it looks like that's going with it. Jolly good then.
Yep, and what'd she reduce the cost to?
Let's see, we're sitting pretty at, so, let's see, you won by a bit. Not much, but a bit.
Yep, 5. Well, depending on his bonus.
Mm.
Well, he said you tied when he rolled one below you, so...
It's a 4.
I'm comparing it, prices and stuff. Well, looks like you're getting it for 30 silvers.
Sounds good to me.
Alright then, if you pass him your 30 silvers, then he will give you the caddis and the saddle.
Sounds good. Mechanically, I have no idea what the effect of that actually will be.
You have to put it on it, unless you ask him, I guess.
No, she's fine with painting it on herself.
Well, ask him what it does, I meant not ask him to do it.
Man.
Alright, well, for now, just put caddis down, just unknown caddis or something, I don't know, it's up to you when you put it on. And you have a saddle. Yay, good for you.
Yep.
Back to Rinlishin, actually, because he'd be next in line. I believe you're looking for a proper jeweler?
Yes.
Well, you find around 5, depending on what you define a proper jeweler to be.
Ren is looking for a pretty earring.
Well, there's someone who sells a lot of like trinkets,
Mm-hmm.
who might have something like that. One who sells what is essentially ores and other such minerals, like valuables, for people to work with. Usually deals with like the actual other traders. And then there's actually someone selling like actual jewelry who definitely has it, but will definitely be the most expensive.
The one who works with the non-precious materials. Just looking nice is all Rin's after.
All right, so trinkets. This person is selling trinkets. There are a lot of them.
Just any sort of earring with a non-precious gemstone.
There's one with a glass bead. That's all of 4 silvers.
Actual gemstone, like something common, like citrine or something.
He has something along that nature. Yeah. There's a low-grade one with there's a low-grade topaz in that one for 15 silvers.
And that's mounted in...
Oh, not silver or silverite, it's not really, it's not tin, what's the word for this, I'm trying to remember.
Nickel?
Yeah, nickel, thank you. Nickel, earring.
Out of character, I know a lot of people are allergic to it, but in character, Rin is fine with it.
Yeah, welcome to medieval society, I don't know that shit. It's shiny like silver, shut up. So, a nickel and topaz earring for 15 silvers, exchanged.
But if you just worry about it being shiny, why can't I get some lead earrings?
Because it's hard to make lead.
Lead is soft.
Very difficult to work with. I know, I've tried working with it myself.
But you can make a zeppelin out of it.
Only if you're really good with an axe.
So, do you actually have to put the lead out when you're making it quicker?
You are all the biggest nerds. Bogren.
So,
Actually, hold on.
anyways, Rin
Oh, sorry,
does.
go ahead, Rin.
Rin does put that earring on, and he feels better about himself. This might be one of the first things he's ever bought for himself that doesn't actually do anything. He makes his way back to the cart in Sarabas.
Admittedly, it does look rather fetching on him, at least judging from the way the women keep staring, though they could be staring for other reasons.
There are ears there as well that might be catching their eye, yeah.
Cerebus, while it has been gone, there has not been much happening on your end of things, though you have gotten a couple strange offers, like, what's a good one?
Sure, I will have sex with you for 50 copper.
15 silvers for, like, the wheels of the cart, for example. Which you refused by, you need wheels on your cart.
I probably would have sold them of a dick like that.
Would Cerebus really have sold the wheels of the cart for 15 silver?
Not for 15 silver, but
All
give
right,
me a
then.
good price.
Well, they're not going to. Beyond dumb offers like that, you have had some time to kind of look over the crowd and personally kind of hedge out the sort of thing you want to go by. So if you have any interest in anything anyone has seen so far, or particularly looking for anything, now's a good time to make the roll.
I don't know what I'd be looking for.
Fire.
Yeah.
Anybody seen ridiculous mage hats?
Yeah, for goodness sake. Alright, I'm just going to drop this hint. Hey, you know what a staff is?
It's
Those
the thing between
exist.
his legs.
Ninarina, what's the total for cunning? Or, well, cunning spot or whatever it was, but...
I have a +2 to cunning.
Okay. Okay, good. You do spot the mage who is selling staves over in the corner that I put there specifically for you, you lazy piece of crap.
Tell us
Can
how
I
you
go
really
see
feel.
the mage
Actually, it's a
guy?
tranquil, but it looks like a mage, so what to do? I can't believe you forgot staves are a fucking thing in this setting.
Well, I have a staff. I didn't. I was under the impression that that equipment doesn't do much for mages in this role-playing system.
Wrong.
Don't trump
Although,
me.
in Sarabas's defense, well, rather in Brad's defense, staff he probably got in the big city versus staff he finds made by someone where it was in the grass out in the middle of nowhere.
Usually that'd be correct, but there is a trait. He did spot what is presumed to be a tranquil, judging from the complete lack of blinking, selling a number of long stick-like objects. You can presume he has some level of competency.
Well, once I can, I will go look. I will go talk to the Tranquil.
Rather should have showed up to take over your job. Do so.
I'm going to talk to the Tranquil.
Goody. I'm just measuring distances real fast.
Enchantment?
Yes, Cerebus does make it there, and the Tranquil just stares at you. Can I help you?
Greetings, emotionless human. What kinds of staves do you have?
All. What is it you seek?
I don't know. What do you got?
We have ones that empower the energies of the primal. We have some that empower the energies that do not exist, yet do. From creation to destruction, life to death, all things. We have one that produces dog biscuits, even. I don't know why that one exists.
Well, I could use that. So wait, you're saying something about primal?
Yes. I presume your interest means you have some study in the field. This particular staff that you have mentioned empowers the spells you create within that particular realm.
In what way?
He just sort of stares at you a moment. Empowers, improves. You channel it through the staff, and your own power is magnified. Translation, you get a +1 to your magic when you use this for primal stuff.
How much does that cost?
40 silvers.
That's all? Okay, I'll take it.
Done. And then you trade silvers, and you now have that staff. There are other staves here as well, but I will note you can only use one at a time, and they take up one hand, essentially.
Well, yeah, I know, but I could carry a bunch of them and ready them.
Yeah, you could have up to 2 at the rate. You can technically use 2. You can do wield staves if you want to. I mean,
No,
you look silly, but you can do it.
No, the way the system works, I can carry 5 or 6 of them and just take an action to switch them out.
This is true.
What other kinds of staffs do you got there?
Many. As for you, there's this one, and he produces one that looks... the one he gave you is more this classic wooden ensemble. This one, though, appears to be made of iron. When wielded, this one protects you from the backlash of the Fade.
You know what? I'm probably good for now, but thank you so much.
Good day.
What exactly does the primal staff do?
Whenever you attempt to conjure a spell from the primal domain, and whenever that spell is successfully conjured, basically +1 to conjure it with magic, and +1 for the anything that is improved by magic effects. You just add 1. So it's like, so let's just say it does d6 plus magic damage. You add an additional 1 to that. If it's a equals magic damage, then +1 to that, so on and so on. The only requirement is it's from the primal school.
So +1 to the target roll and damage for any primal spell.
Correct. And that's what stabs are for.
So how long until the
You may also use it to hit someone upside the head, and if you want, you can technically use fire spells out of it, so it's no different than firing out of your hand, technically. I mean, it's presumed you're kind of using the fire spells out of to get the bonus, but you don't have to, as long as you're holding it and you're just kind of channeling through it.
That's good. That gives me a total of +7 to my primal magic.
That's what it's for.
I'd
That's not the
sort of
only
like to
thing that
talk
can
to
do
that
that, by the
gem guy
way.
Runlishan was talking about. Didn't
Oh, yeah, that's
you-
also a thing, but that's not the only thing that can improve. There are things such as enchanted, like, armors and stuff, including
Oh,
enchanted robes and things that do similar to this.
well, yeah, I would hope there's enchanted armor somewhere since I'm going to be an arcane warrior.
Somewhere over the range. It's probably not here. Right, so where are we going next, Service?
I sort of wanted to talk to that gem guy, but I don't really have the money for anything now.
No, that's up to you. Looks like Mogren's next again. Alright, Mogren.
Off to the Fletcher we go.
You're at the Fletchers. Let's see. This one is run by... Oh, that's... Okay, cool. You got the grumpy old man. Enjoy.
What, he's got you?
Yes.
Is it a grumpy old human man?
Yes.
Damn.
Takes one look at you and goes, "What's a dwarf want in my shop?"
Depends. You want a crossbow?
Get ready here.
Mogren will hand over his old crossbow, not the dwarven-made one that he is currently using.
The man expects it for a while, then turns to you and goes, 5 silvers.
Mogren will attempt to haggle.
Okie dokie.
Mogren is not haggling.
No, he is not. He will
Does
give you
Mogren
5
just-
silvers.
Does Mover just grunt at him? Basically, is that what his haggle is?
Mogren goes, "Arr," and he goes, "Arr," harder back, and
And then, then he does like an armpit fart, and then he hands over the crossbow.
pretty much.
Just double checking there's nothing else I'm carrying that Fletcher will be interested in, but looks like no.
Roll me it's a spot check, but cunning for you.
Plus... Is it 1 or 2?
I don't know.
1. If evaluation counts, let me know.
Unless you're deeply mistaken, and you're probably not, you are a dwarf and have dealt with such things, especially with the Carta. This man has a series of enchanted bolts in the word is quarrel over there.
Quiver.
Right, still a quiver? All right. Well, he has them. You can tell because the pouch they're essentially all stacked in has a dwarvish rune on it. So,
Are they marked as such or anything?
they're marked a higher price than other stuff, but other than that,
Like they're marked a higher price than the bolts right next to them, for example.
yes. Example, the bolts right next to them sit pretty at around 5 silvers. Those sit pretty at 15.
But you said they were something to do with the Carta?
Oh, no, you're from the Carta, and you've dealt with
Yes.
enchanted materials before, and you recognize that dwarvish rune on that particular pouch of bolts as one commonly used to signify magic. So basically, you look at a bunch of bolts that are costing more for some reason with a rune that says magic on them on their pouch. So you can assume that those are magical bolts.
Well, Mogren will hand over the crossbow for 5 silver, because there's no way he's getting a better deal than that right now on that.
Correct.
So yay, 5 silver. I get the feeling I forgot to mark down something that I'm holding at the moment, but I don't think I have.
Dick joke.
Har har. In any case, Mogren will point to the bolts in question and ask aloud, "Why are those ones more expensive?"
Because they're enchanted.
You know that for sure?
Aye.
Need to double check what they actually... I know terminology for some games. I don't know what they change it to in here. Where is it? Where is it? Ability focuses, that's what I'm looking for. Yes, okay. I'm going to roll communication to try and get this guy to tell me who exactly told him that.
Okie dokie.
+1.
You have tied. Reroll.
+1. We just try again.
Yeah, I think we did. Try again.
Nope.
You lose. You just scout after a lot, and I mean a lot of haranguing him for the fucking story. He eventually shuts his mouth, points and says, "I just know you want it or not."
Logan will shrug and look at them again. Alright, just not entirely sure whoever told you that was telling the truth. And he's going to be on his way out the door as I make this communication roll for deception.
Okay.
Damn, not working.
He just
Doesn't matter.
looks at you.
He's out the door. Not important.
Okay. Valeria,
Yes.
what are you doing?
She is now going to be looking mostly for her own curiosity, but maybe for a purchase, to see if anyone is selling horses.
Technically, yes. There is horses being sold. Sorted. How to put this? Any one person could sell you a horse here, in theory. But a person actively selling horses, like I want to get rid of this old horse or something, or I want to, do this with it. Depends on what kind of horse you want. Most of the horses they have right here are farm horses designed to pull things.
Yes, she's looking for a riding horse.
I'm just checking. Alright, I need you to roll communications. As you talk to people, try to communicate what you want.
+2.
It does
Technically,
take some talking.
If this counts under animal handling, let's know what she's talking about. That'd be another +2.
Keep that in mind. You do actually know what you're talking about. Alright, one fellow is essentially retiring as a messenger. He would, he lives locally and would send messages out via horseback. He's retiring, though. But his horse isn't. His horse is still quite young. He had replaced his older horse and rode maybe this new horse for a year before having to retire himself. So the horse in question, well, it's basically just a runner's horse. It's not an especially impressive beast. If pressed, he'll show you the creature.
She was curious enough that she'd probably be pushing.
I'll show you my creature if you press enough.
In that case, Valeria, you and Lorraine are going to have to go see a man about a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Mogren, you're still wandering. Is there anything you needed?
I'm heading back to the Leather Crafters.
Okay. It doesn't take very long to get there. Hello, darling.
Now,
Did you have a nice walk?
Yeah, sold the old crossbow I didn't need anymore,
Is there anything you need from us?
Yeah, that armor. How much you say it was again?
A gold 50.
Right, in the process of asking for it, let's get to actual bargaining on that.
Alright, go ahead and try and haggle.
Not good. Yep,
You are
that's what happened.
crushed
Oh, boy.
beyond all reason.
Yeah, freaking Kaylee over there stealing all the good bargaining rolls.
You will not be getting this nor anything else for cheaper. You won't. Others could.
Mogren will pat the armor he's wearing. Well, obviously I won't be needing this anymore, but, did you give it anything for it?
You're wearing heavy leather, yeah?
Believe so, yes, and I'll go ahead and roll for that again, by the way.
You can't.
It's a different thing than buying.
Doesn't matter. Oh, you mean... Oh, right. Different from buying. That's what you mean. Okay, yes,
Yeah,
that
this
is
is selling the armor to them. Different thing.
Sorry. Alright, go on. What's your plus again?
+1, and depends on, if any other bonuses apply.
You have 1 due to your stunt point amount, so you win.
Barely.
Barely. Yeah, alright, so you've won. You can't spend the stun points, though, unfortunately, even though you have one, because they were the deciding factor in this case.
Yep, it's fine.
They're
Don't worry
willing
about
to
it.
give you 20 silvers for the heavy leather.
And that'll work out then.
Alright, so it gives you 20 silvers, and they still want a gold 50 for the...
Yep.
Alright, so when you spend that, they'll give it to you happily.
You, try to go out back to change, or...
Oh, yes, over there, darling. They just sort of point at a quiet corner of the shop with, like, some walls put up.
Yep, we'll switch into new armor and hand over his old.
Alright, then. The new set is very comfortable, very finely crafted, and it probably wasn't cut for you. Like, it's not, like, designed with
It is not
dwarf in
dwarf
mind.
armor.
No, but they obviously adjusted it on the fly and did a magnificent job. So it, like, fits pretty comfortably despite that fact.
I'm just gonna put that down as mastercrafted for right now because,
If you want to, it's equivalent to it's a +2, so it's literally 2 better than heavy armor normally is.
Which is pretty good.
Yes, this is very good armor.
With that done, Mogren will, head back to the cart because that was basically with his money.
Mm-hmm. You arrive at the cart. It's still intact, thank God.
I don't know how this thing isn't burned down yet.
Cerebus has acquired a new stick. And Renlishan has an earring.
Do you feel pretty now?
Considering he has no less than 15 women lined up just to talk to him. I think the village may agree. He does, in fact, look and feel pretty.
Why is nobody responding to me?
Because
Oh, I see. Taya's muted.
Alright, if I was busy, then I'll just do to Valyria real quick about that horse.
Not busy, just stays muted when has nothing to say because his microphone picks up a lot of background noise.
Well, Ren was just having a moment with Mogren, who made fun of his earring. But real quick, Valyria, the horse. I don't know how much you actually know about horses in real life, but I could give you the hands amount, maybe, if you really want it. I mean, it's a decently sized workhorse. Definitely has spent most of its life in training and or in the process of running messages, usually through roads and a bit of rough terrain. It is not an old horse, most certainly. If you had to put it in horse years, you'd say prime of life.
Well, there's always a few questions. Male, female, size.
Well, how exact do you want me to be in terms of male or female? I can just tell you straight
Well,
up male.
yeah, how exact? Yeah, that would be,
Yeah, that one's easy. It's the other stuff that's like, well, how exact do you want me to be?
basically, does it look like it's going to have stamina issues, or...
Oh, God, no. No, this is a runner's horse. This thing, if it's going to do anything, it's got stamina.
And does it basically look like it could actually hold her plus plate?
Probably. But would it be used to it?
Well, that she can fix.
I mean, like, yeah, that's how to put this. This particular breed is what's called a hot-blooded horse, and that's a horse designed for speed and endurance. Something you'd use to run messages.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also the similar breed you'd also use for, say, combat, though it's not at all trained for such. It simply is that kind of horse you could use. Like, it wouldn't have trouble with adrenaline, let's call it that.
Yeah, she's not too worried about training. I'm gonna go ahead and roll. Can etiquette apply when talking horses, basically knowing what is a good thing to say in that manner?
Sure, yeah. Let's go with that. Try rolling.
So that makes that a +4.
Alright, you know what you're talking about.
And stunt points. Yay! How old is the man? Again?
This fellow, middle-aged, has a nice beard. He's retiring because once he's hit around middle age, he's not green yet, but he's on the cusp of it. And he knows that his reflexes are going to start, like, going, and he doesn't want to risk his life, running messages in the wild anymore.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and use Tower of Will to give her a +1 bonus for the rest of this exchange.
Okie dokie.
You've quite the animal, sir. I see you've taken good care of him.
He's a proper feller. Descended from, technically speaking, he ain't close related to my last one, but it's sort of a cousin. He's a good fella, though. Goes fast, doesn't complain. Young still, doesn't know the land, but could be taught.
Well, as I am on a journey as well, he would be a wonderful companion.
Well, I hate having to see him go, but I'll let him off for 50 silvers.
And she'll go ahead and start bargaining with him. Politely, but yes.
That's obscenely cheap already for a horse, but okay.
That is the default price for a horse.
I know. The horses in this city are weirdly cheap.
10.
The default for a draft horse, a riding horse is 150.
Either way, she's still going to do it because she might as well. So with +1 on that puts her at 11. Not a tremendous amount, but I figure bargaining
You've
is
tied
probably
and
standard.
won due to stunt points. So you won due to stunt points primarily, so that puts it down to 40 silvers.
Of which she will gladly pay and then be dirt broke.
Alright, you now have yourself a runner's horse. Now, Tio is correct in that a riding horse normally costs a lot more, but he's selling it as you would a draft horse because he's not expecting anyone's going to use it as a riding horse. Because folk just kind of don't around here. He's surprised to be able to sell it at all, to be honest. He thought he'd have to go down to fucking Denver to sell this goddamn thing.
And I guess we'll need another horse, a different horse, probably. So we don't confuse it with the draft
horse
animals.
you just bought would not be a good horse for pulling the cart.
And she's not ever going to make it do that. She considers that much below its
And the
function.
horse that you rode, the horse that was pulling the cart that you rode into the forest was really not suited to that fucking job. This one is. This one could go into the forest just fine. Probably wouldn't bitch either. Unlike the draft horse, who bitched the whole time.
And she has a saddle. Yay.
She do. You reconvene at the cart with everyone. You've all returned. It is now much closer to afternoon and dinner time.
I sort of wanted to talk to the blacksmith.
Oh, you're free to. Yeah, you'll wander off.
The Qunari's gone missing. The town's gonna burn down.
Get in the cart, run while he's still... Alright, Cerebus, what did the blacksmith hire you particularly after?
I'm specific. Yeah, right now I'm wearing light leather armor, so I'm specifically looking for something light designed to put less strain on a mage. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
The local blacksmith who deals with farmers all day points at a handful of nails and goes, "I could put those in you."
Oh yeah, well I can put this in you, flame.
Picks up a hammer. Okay, I'll shape that into something useful.
My flame?
Yes, in your hand, specifically pulp. I don't know. I know what you're asking for, but you're not going to find it at local blacksmith, man.
I might.
Not really, no.
Never know. That's why I asked.
Fair enough. You did ask, and the answer is no.
Okay, I'm good then.
May as well use the armored one, because eventually that will be the goal. Pretty riding horse.
You know what? You're right. That is armor. It just looked like at the zoom level I had it at. It just looked like a whitish silver horse.
Nope, that's an armored horse.
I mean, she will eventually get guarding for it.
But you're broke.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to know the name of this horse, by the way? I don't think you ever actually asked.
I assumed she would actually ask.
It's named Goldberry.
Because why not?
Sure, why not?
Well,
His father's name was Gold.
Dingleberry.
Its father's name was Fairy, so they just kind of went with it. Had two brothers, Mary and Marrier. They're farmers. What do you want from them? I don't think she has a fucking flaming hooved horse.
I think it's just going that fast.
It's not going that fast.
Gotta go fast.
No.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go slow.
Could we retrieve our horse from just bring it over to the cart just for presentation's sake? The one that's up at the watering hole.
Sure, hold on. There. Happy?
Yep.
You are all doofuses.
Doofy.
Doofy.
Dufo?
Fee, fi, fo, fum.
Willem
Fee,
Dafoe?
exactly.
So, does Cerebus find what he's looking for?
No, I did not.
Does he ever return to us?
I already have.
Well, alright then. You've all come back together.
I'm guessing the market day is coming to a close.
At this point, most definitely.
I got a coat.
He's
Take good
wearing a
hard
nice
luck,
leather
'cause
jerkin.
I'm wearing a nice coat.
Longren has a nice new leather jerkin. Cerebus is carrying around a stick. Valeria has Lorraine covered in like some sort of harness and a horse.
I wish there was some way to make it so I could actually sit her on the horse without it looking really weird.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear we need to burn down the forest on the way here?
I wish that surprised me. Why?
Fucking giant spider thing.
Yeah, no better way to do it, unfortunately.
Here,
At least not to move together.
I do have a way to set that up. Just 1 second.
Oh, okay. Go on then.
The horse is now center-aligned on a tile.
Oh, neat.
I'm going to call it Blazer.
What, your stick?
Oh, the horse.
Its name is Goldberry, but you can call it what you want, I suppose.
I don't care what its name is.
Alright.
It's the same reason I call Runlishin Flamer.
Well, what would you all like to do at this stage?
Well, Mogrim brought up the giant spider.
Let's go kill the giant spider. Lucas.
Kill the what now?
Well, apparently a giant spider lives in the forest.
What did it look like? Anything odd?
It looked like a giant spider.
Are giant spiders not odd enough for you?
It was about the size of a horse and had 8 legs. I think it had something shiny in its back.
Oh, really? Do you know where it was, perchance? Could you take us back?
Should be pretty easy. I did leave a tree-sized crater.
A small forest fire.
Hope you didn't actually scare it off. I've been tasked to retrieve a sword lost by someone in town. They claimed they saw a beast with 6 legs, but they were clearly mistaken.
Oh yeah, so you know it's a great idea? Running off near nightfall to do this? I'll just go get the lanterns.
So saying, he lights the sleeves of his coat on fire.
I can see that.
Okay, I need to get a coat that I can light on fire without it burning. That'd be awesome.
We should wait until the next day. I'll talk with the owner, explain what's happened. He should understand if it takes 1 day longer, since he told me it was... Well, he did not explain what it really was. Well, if no one else is going to say anything, Valeria's going to head off towards the tavern.
Okie dokie.
Mogrim will follow.
Rin will set the wagon back in motion and park it somewhere across from the tavern where it's not blocking traffic and also not looking like it's still part of the market.
Alright.
He's also really dreading the moment when these horses see something that spooks them, and he has to discover just how crap his animal handling is.
I cast Fireball on our horses.
You kill yourself, the horses, and the town. Good job.
Yay!
Does he get solo XPs?
No, he's died as well. Remember, he killed himself. Yeah,
For
no XP.
convenience sake, I may recommend giving me control over that horse.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if I've ever told you the most hilarious story I have about solo XPs, but yeah.
Right then. The horses are essentially unhitched, so just... As everyone heads into the tavern.
Including the horse.
This is where we all start whittling down dice and rolling up for a D&D game, right?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
The pretty riding horse walks into the tavern. The bartender says, "Why the long face?"
Then he gets punched in the face with a hoof. Nice. You enter the tavern, and it's decently bustling. The barkeep waves at you.
Don't wave at me, I'll kill you.
Small question. Since you say, and everyone goes into the tavern, are you trying to hint to me that I do not, we do not need to leave someone to watch the cart full of valuables?
Unless you don't trust the people they have on watch doing exactly that, who keep an eye on the horses primarily, yeah, I guess.
You
I never
have
knew
not
they had
mentioned
people
any such
watching that,
people.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I apologize, but most places that have it
You said there was no stable. There is just a bar and a thing of water outside for the horses.
Correct,
There is no
and there is a
stable, there's
man
only
leaning on the side of
the-
the building who is paid to do nothing but watch that. Admittedly, he just one guy kind of watching the horses, might leaning on the side of side of the building, and maybe he sits in a chair now and then.
All right, I don't think I can tip him well enough to not just let people rifle through the cart, so Rin will stick with the cart.
Fair enough. I guess you don't trust this town.
Excuse me, elf speaking.
It's not like your thing is full of jewelry. It's full of fucking supplies. Like, they're not gonna. Well, they might rifle through it, but they might. I mean, the local kids might steal the occasional whatever you have, but it will be too heavy for them to take off anything serious.
The kids will steal our square watermelons.
So, watermelons.
They're apparently
Everyone's sands are in the shit goes
thick
inside them.
rods of jade. Apparently,
Nope,
Nah,
they're
they're
square
not actually
watermelons.
Whatever. Everyone except where the shin goes in, I suppose.
50,000 yen each.
Do as thou will. If they're winless shin, you're going to be eyeballed pretty much all night and day by the fellow on watch. He's paying more attention to you than the other horses, to be honest.
more attention to me than the other horses. Good to know there's someone here who doesn't think Rin's pretty.
Well, Valeria will go and see if she can find the two knights.
I'm gonna see if I can find the 2 days.
Well, you will have to go searching for the nightly fellows. So far, you don't hear them, so that's already a bad sign.
Mogren's
And
is going to
Mogren's
find a
Cerebus?
table.
Or when you find a table, it's not very hard to find one. It's occupied.
Okay, an unoccupied table.
That's a little hard to find. You do manage to get one. Do you prefer a corner table or one just kind of in the open?
Eh.
Okay. First table you see is just out in the open, easy peasy.
Mogren will sit at the table.
I cast magic missile on the table.
The table reflects it. It's a mimic, and it eats you. Valeria, you've already managed to go through most of the tavern, and they're nowhere to be seen. So if they're still here, they're probably asleep.
She will go ahead and inquire from whoever is working the innkeep, if it's still the innkeeper himself.
Oh, lady, fancy seeing you again. Had a good day, then.
Extremely. I was wondering, perhaps, though, have you seen the two knightly fellows who were here the days past?
Oh, them arguing bunch. Yeah, they don't dig brick crowds so much. They went, out.
Do they still have rooms here, or have they
Aye.
moved on?
They still have rooms.
Excellent. Well, as the day goes wrong, we may need 2 rooms for the night.
Making a note. Would you like dinner this eve?
Please.
I can see your friends already got the table. Right, I'll whip you up the usual. You have any requests, or just what's on?
The only thing I may request, if you have a spare bone for my
Of
helmet.
course. Winks and meanders off. Shouts at someone in the back.
Yep, she'll come on over to where the others are.
It does not take long at all. Like, you might have a minute of conversation before several tavern girls come whisking out and have set out a impressive, for considering the tavern, meal before you. It's mostly hunted venison with large supplies of potatoes and cabbage. Also, there's a
I wanted
soup.
to eat delicious vengeance.
Vengeance, I can't say it right. Vengeance.
I'm going to unsuccessfully hit on one of the tavern girls.
Detectile magic, yeah. Alright, feel free to handle them, but I need a minute to go do something, so talk amongst yourselves as you eat food and Rinlishin starves outside. Enjoy that. Be right back.
I think I'll bring Ren a doggy bag at some point.
Ogre eats food and, when not distracted by others, gets depressed about his lack of gold beard.
I mean, to be honest, I assumed that the innkeeper would have known by now that we had the guy outside after 2 nights.
I'm going to hit on these tavern girls because if anything, if Iron Bull taught me anything, it's that's what Kunari do. They also betray their friend of years. Or in my case, their girlfriend. Why, Iron Bull? My favorite story about solo XP is the DM who always rolled things out in the open was clearly setting things up to get me killed, so he kept separating me from the party, and I ended up being 5 levels ahead of everybody else by the time he knocked it off.
I mean, really, the best way to get experience is to get really close to dying and then never do.
Yep, because he's the DM. He could have easily cheated, but he insisted on doing all of his rolls in public all the time. So by his own rules, he'd set me up in these impossible to win situations, but I kept winning somehow. One time it was because Throglax rolled a lucky crossbow shot and killed a vampire.
So what are the rules on long-range staking?
One of the house rules he had was if you roll 3 nat 20s in a row against something, it dies. So if you roll a nat 20 on your confirmation roll, you get another roll, and if you roll a nat 20 on that, the thing dies, and Throglax got it on the vampire.
Yeah. A mere 1 in 8,000 is not quite enough for me. Especially after that goddamn cultist brute charges through the wall of flames. He rolls 4 nat 20s in a row against Fulton.
Well, that's good as Fulton. He just has that coming.
Yeah, that's probably the most because there really is no way I should have been able to beat that vampire, and that just happened to happen.
Yeah.
So I pretty much flipped him off at that point and went, "Ha, I win." Yeah, the rest of the party was at level 7. I was at level 12.
Yeah.
You should have recommended they all become your cohorts.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the main character at this point, so yeah, that was the first Joseph Ripken. I'm pretty much the main character at this point because encounters can't be designed around you guys now.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, yeah. I once, purely for entertainment, tried creating just in Hero Lab, just brew up various characters to experiment with the way Pathfinder builds things, especially at higher levels, and just for entertainment, rolled up a high-level oracle, so charisma-focused caster, who was an old man, gave him leadership, and basically he brought all of his level 6, 5, 4, and 3 followers, all, I think 22 of them in total, plus his cohort, with him. And as a group, it basically formed something like an APL 12 adventuring party.
You don't need other players. You're good.
And those were the brief and entirely on paper adventures of Grignan the Elder, Grignan the Younger, and Grignan the Elder's many grandchildren.
Yeah, no DM who's doing their job would let you play that.
Good Lord, no.
Is it bad that I'm starting to notice this sounds familiar to what I've done in Austrian?
Summons only last for minutes per level.
I think she mostly means her leadership of the people crewing the airship.
Well,
Yeah,
yes,
but
but
they're not-
that's crew. They stay on the airship unless they have really good reason.
Yeah, they're not coming into battle all the time.
They are manning siege equipment, though, and a giant siege engine / base.
Which only comes into play if somebody attacks the siege engine, so it's fine.
Hey,
I'm gonna find a way to. I'm gonna miniaturize it somehow. They'll just like fly around near me.
I just
You
found out
cannot-
something interesting about Final Fantasy XIV.
Uh-oh.
They got
Nobody
a-
plays it?
Actually, a shit ton of people play it, including myself.
Nope, nobody plays it.
They got a Guinness World Record for the longest in-game credits in an MMO.
Assassin's Creed 3 wins the world record for what feels like the longest goddamn credits ever.
I know the reason Final Fantasy XIV gets the record is because they had the reboot happen where they reset
so they
the
have
world.
to credit both teams. Yeah.
They have to credit both teams, and they credit all the players who registered when asked about how they actually stuck around through to the end of beta and when it actually re-released again.
Oh god.
Yeah, so it's a lot of names.
The thanks to section.
Yes.
I've been watching a lot of. I've been having YouTube playing in the background while I'm playing the Oracle games, so I've been watching a lot. I've been watching a lot of videos about video game facts and stuff. The Wii version of Okami was pretty much completely remade, and they didn't credit the original, and the credits don't include the people who made the original game.
Oh.
They forgot to put it into the retail version of the disc.
Oops.
Yeah, the original developers were not happy.
There's I own the Ogre Designers Edition, the 6th edition of the Ogre board game that was kickstarted several years ago. For those of you who don't know, it's a war game about asymmetric warfare. Gigantic super tanks versus conventional armies. And yes, it's a fair fight, one tank versus a conventional army. way back in the mists of time, Ogre was actually going to be the official Bolos tabletop game. If you know that series of books,
Do not.
but I own the designer edition. It is a box. It weighs about 28 pounds.
Ooh.
It it is 2 feet by 1.5 feet by half a foot in size. And on the inside box, on all 4 sides, in 6-point font, is the name of every backer. Yeah. I did find my name on it eventually, but if the names were not alphabetized, it would have been impossible.
It also has their credit card number and their social security number.
No, there's not enough space for that.
Did you know that 2 years ago, Nintendo released a $400 Go board?
Gotta go money.
Board games are one of the many things Nintendo still makes.
Interesting. Is everyone here?
Maybe.
Good.
I fly through the
while-
sky.
Good. While you are all enjoying a nice meal, Rinla Shin is freezing in the cold. Rinla Shin notices something.
I'm taking him food out.
Oh, you're going to? Alright, well then you'll notice this as well as you take food out to him. There seems to be a rather well-dressed gentleman sort of marching determinedly down the road and just... He's much better dressed than anyone you've seen so far, outside of, well, I guess, yourselves, maybe. We're talking like long fur cloak, very fine silken clothing, and he's just determinedly just going to the inn like he's gonna fucking either burn it down or kick some ass.
But burning it down is my job.
Is the burning it down after the fucking or before the fucking?
During the fucking.
That's a lot of friction.
Yes.
No, not because of, just during.
They should probably stop using that, those Flint condoms. Not good.
Well, as you watch him storm inside, it's not long before Valyria and Vogler get familiar with him because he comes right to your table. Are you the new travelers, the tradesmen have come into town? You look at the three of them. And you have the dog. Alright, yes, this would be you then. Mrs. Thorne, I think.
Yes, do I know you?
No, you don't, and you wouldn't. The mayor wishes a word with you and yours, whenever you're done with this place. Be quick about it. He just sort of woof gone, and then those outside see him marching determinedly off again.
Can I shoot him?
There's not enough stuff in that box. Still way less stuff than in most BattleTech games I've played.
Well, I assume Valeria's about done with her meal. So she'll stand, knowing that it'll be put on her tab regardless. Milgren, you can come with if you wish. I have no idea what they want with me.
Yeah, come in there.
He's still
No,
hanging out
maybe
just over
running
here.
from
Let's
people
rush him.
again.
I think we can take him.
Sorry, I was coughing. It looks like Valyria is going to pursue.
Maybe not pursue, but yes.
Anyone else
Mogul
joining?
will go with. And then we're going outside, presumably to tell the others what just happened.
Yeah, when I see them going, I'll go with.
Ren, would you like to just have your meal outside and let them deal with the mysterious figure?
In character, Rin has no idea anything has happened. He's just
No, they
attentively
literally
eating his steaming bowl.
Well, I see them coming. I assume they're going somewhere.
Yeah, feel free to explain things.
Mm-hmm. Rin, apparently we've been summoned. Well, I have been summoned. I don't know if it pertains to all of us or me. They know my name.
Ooh. Was it?
This food is delicious, by the way, Ren. This is probably the best meal you've ever had.
What, better than what I got from the inn yesterday night?
Considering yesterday you got mostly gruel on request, yes. Yes, it is.
Hells yeah. Alright. Need me to wash the stuff, or am I hitching them back up?
Hmm. I don't think Lorraine's trained enough to guard for us yet. It may be best if you stay. Depends. When she says the word guard, does Lorraine sit down?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, perhaps she's already taken that care of her previous owner.
She then proceeds to lick her genitals.
Yeah, well, that's a dog.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright. Rin breaks off a small piece of jerky from his own food stores, shakes it for Lorraine, then puts it on the seat of the cart next to him.
Goes for the jerky like it's the last jerky on Earth.
Gives her a scritch.
Happy
Hops
dog.
down.
Flair will reiterate guard.
At that, Lorraine flops down across the top of the seating area, just sort of covers it with her whole body, stretches a bit, and just sort of lays there.
She nods, not wanting to praise her because she's not sure if that will release the command.
She kind of looks at you.
She'll scratch her behind the ears regardless.
Happy tail thump.
Alright, let's deal with this, shall we?
Does dealing involve a crossbow bolt?
Not until we see what they want. Maybe after.
It wouldn't take you long to find the mayor's house. It's the big one.
Surprise!
Put you over there. The door is shut, but almost as soon as you approach it, opens immediately by that same noble-looking fellow. About time. Get in.
I guess Valyria will take the lead inside since she was the one addressed earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Inside it is not opulent, just kind of quaint or cozy is a good word for it. It's like someone took an existing home and just kind of kept expanding on it in the same fashion. So whereas a proper noble would probably have like just more expensive things, he just has more things. So rather than one couch, he has 3 and so on. You don't see signs of him anywhere. It's just the nobleman gestures at the fucking couches near a fireplace and marches off.
Do.
Did you hear me?
Maybe not, from how things just stopped.
Well, I said he gestured at all of you to go. Well, you went inside. Everything was fairly non-opulent. Just more, it was very packed with things. And he gestured at a series of couches for you all to sit on and wait a moment.
Oh. Okay, I guess we're sitting on couches then.
We are bid to wait. Gotcha.
Yes, how dare you take so long, and now you must wait.
Why,
Yeah.
hurry up and wait's a age-long tradition.
Yeah,
Whatever you
seriously.
say, Shinzon. Now I will wait 3 days to contact you, even though I'm under a time crunch.
I was more thinking from Final Fantasy X, how dude with the crazy antler hair decides to have you just go through 3 separate waiting rooms, and well, every time the only way to make things hurry up and happen is to talk to everybody. Then finally he leads you into his holodeck.
Crazy antler, man.
We're gonna get to play Blitzball then?
Fuck, Blitzball.
Pretty
So
sure
After
that's not.
waiting for what
Yeah.
feels like a surprisingly long amount of time, you must be able to sit in here for at least like 20 minutes. Like Renly has enough time to like finish his meal. Finally, you're approached by a actually very nervous looking, despite his height, he's very, very tall man in, well, you'd say he was thick set, but you think he's just wearing that many layers of clothes. They're nice clothes, but he seems to be following the trend his house has set, where the clothes are okay, nice, but rather than getting just better clothes, he just puts on more layers. So he's just layered with decently opulent clothing, just layer after layer after layer. Well, he looks very large, despite very clearly not being very large.
Alright, well, rolling up a 14 on etiquette to greet him appropriately for being a noble. Greetings, a mayor.
Well, etiquette demands that he bow before you, and then you kick him and call him peasant scum. So,
Let's not. You know for certain that that's not how it fucking works, so.
I know, I'm teasing. In truth, he should differentiate to you depending on your rank, but considering your rank, and you're in his town, you differentiate to him. So you should lead with a bow, and then he
Defer.
will follow. Defer, sorry.
It'll be a slight bow. She's still a noble lady.
He slightly bows back. Yes, good. Yes, you're here. Yes, good. Could you sit? You're sitting. Yes, keep sitting. Yes, it's nice, isn't it? Everything is nice. Would you like tea? I like tea. Tea would be good. Yes, fetch tea and brandy. Lots of brandy.
I'm sure my
Okay.
No,
companions won't mind, but yes, tell us what the problem is. You're clearly nervous.
no, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, yeah. Brandy first. Talking second. He jitters a bit and locates the large armrest to sit on, and he looks rather ridiculous. Like when he sits down, all his clothes kind of puff up around him, and you kind of lose sight of him.
I'll get with Brandy.
Yes, brandy, and then eventually servants do come in with, well, tea and brandy, and they usually mix the two, but if requested, they'll just pass the brandy over.
Mogren will have Brandy handed over to him.
You have a cup full of brandy. It's in a teacup, but there it is.
Gulp.
That is not normal brandy. That is fine dwarvish fire brandy, and you may or may not have just had your liver kicked in. This man knows drink and knows hard drink. And you just had some. So it made your day.
Well, by the fucking stone, you have actual alcohol.
Yes, he starts giggling. Yes.
Rin asks for just tea.
He's given just tea. Surprisingly nice tea. It's not particularly strong, but there's a slight sweetness to it that's pleasant.
All of Rin's memories of enjoying alcohol end in waking up in a ditch somewhere.
Valeria will accept a small amount of brandy to warm her, and that's about it.
Well, considering the kind of brandy it is, they basically put in 2 drops, and it's enough to go from a chill night to, whoa, it's hot in here.
What, does it have Spanish fly in it?
Yes,
might
actually.
as well. No, I
Yeah,
mean, as in
no.
it does physically warm your body and, like, quickly. It's Dwarvish fire whiskey, or fire brandy, sorry. It's technically magical. In a very, very mild way. Essentially, if you have this stuff on hand, you could be shirtless in the Alps and just take a sip every hour and you'll be fine.
No, she wouldn't. She'd be a woman shirtless in the Alps.
Cerebus, would you like any?
I will
Tea
drink
and or brandy?
No, I'm fine.
Alrighty. Once you're all settled with your tea and or brandy, he himself has an extra large cup of tea with brandy, which he sips eagerly and gingerly. I'm sure you wonder yes, why you're here. Well, it's complicated. It matters, nobility and all that. To put it simply, and you're not here, and you're not expected to stay here, so it doesn't matter what the impression you make. So, yes. Have you heard? There's a man from a ways who's maybe threatening the town a little bit with fire and things.
Why would someone be threatening?
Well, maybe, and I can't speak for the. I mean, I told him no, but then again, the township. I mean, I'm just one man. Maybe you.
Slow down, please.
Takes a long drink. There is a man who believes that he lost his servants, and he thinks that we're hiding them.
Where did he lose them, and why would he think they would be here?
Oh, they may have ran off on him, and it upsets him.
Has he tried looking under his couch? That's where I always find things.
I did not suggest that, but I will next time.
I assume you mean, elves?
I don't know. I haven't seen them. I just, I need your experienced, hard, scary people from scary places, and you have weapons and things. So I'm asking in exchange for maybe some coin or things, titles. I don't know, something to maybe protect the town and find the thing he's looking for and give it to him so he goes away.
You're asking us to find escaped slaves and return them to this man?
That would be nice. Yes.
No.
Aw.
Yeah, don't just give him the no just yet. We just gotta make sure the guy doesn't burn down the town, right?
I will not return any slaves. That being said, if he is a danger to your people, we can find a way to stop him.
How dare you threaten to burn this place down? I will burn his place down for that.
Please calm down. It would be bad if you had. Oh dear. Well, no one would trust you on the road. I mean, you could tell them, and no one would believe you. I mean, they might believe you, but if they believed you, they'd have to check, and he'd be gone or we'd be dead, so it wouldn't matter. Well, yes, when I say slaves, I do mean, or slaverants, I mean slaves. You know that those, well, slavery is illegal here, yes, it's been. I mean, you can have elf servants, but it's not the same. They're not true slaves. They're just not proper on paper and things and rules and regulations and business and
I
things.
would recommend that you stop speaking about this.
But they are slaves, and the man seeking them is he's a Tventer mage, maybe, probably, definitely.
You want to say that again?
No.
Alright, fair enough.
So yeah, no.
Why the fuck is there a Vinter here?
I don't know. He just showed up one day demanding to give us back his slaves, and I have no idea what he's talking about.
Sir,
he says if I don't show them, he's going to turn everything into a horrible organ of fire and burning.
Sir.
He sort of burrows into his own clothes and vanishes again.
Why did you not speak with the Templar that passed nary a day before us?
What Templar?
We
Wait a
met
minute,
two
Templar?
Templar.
That would have solved everything.
Two Templar on the road.
No news of this. No, the end has said nothing. I've kept my eyes open on the road. Did nothing. No Templar.
Odd.
But you're not Templar, but you know Templar. But you could bring Templar, because mage.
They were supposed to have come this way. If they have not, I do not know where they are.
Oh dear.
That's a good thing for me.
Look, you could say one thing about it. No matter what happens to this Devinter, he's a far away from home, and I don't think anybody here really likes Devinter much.
That doesn't matter. He's saying, give us back my... He thinks his slaves are here, and we're hiding them, and it's pissing him off, and he's given me a 2 day left, two day before to produce them, or suffer unto the wrath of him in the turning and the bad.
Hey, look, however this goes, your town's giving me food and a bed. Down fire bad, not happening.
So you stop him? How?
Where does he stay? If he wants you to return these slaves, you must know where to return them to.
North a bit, in a clearing, in a ways. It's there-ish, places. I don't know
And
where he camps, but must close, probably.
How many are with him?
Within what?
Does he have cohorts?
Yeah, when I saw him, it was just him and his other slaves.
He retains more?
I would presume. I mean, you don't shackle, Quinari for no reason, I think. Do you?
This is where everyone stares at Sarabas, right?
More or less.
Yep. I'm not bringing slaves back, dude.
Well, if you could just find where they are, and they're not here, probably, I think. I don't know. I tried, but they're not. And
That's
just
the whole
find
thing
where
was
they
a
are and
distinctly
tell him,
not my
and everything will
problem
solve
flavor
itself.
to it.
Brad, did you actually hear the bit about chained up Kunari?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yes. Yeah, that's what he says
he
the
has
slaves
a
are.
Kunari enslaved with him. Which is why everyone turned as one to stare at Sarafos.
Yeah, I think between all of his stuttering, I'm out of character, having a really hard time following what he's saying. So could we get a brief, coherent recap,
Sure.
please?
I will coherently recap this for the sake of he is going to try and explain it, and I don't
I'm
want to
also
read.
having some internet problems on my end, so
All
I didn't
right,
hear
so
this part of the speech.
from what you've pieced together from this scared, stuttering little man, well, tall man, thin man, whatever, a Tevinter mage with at least one Quinari chained slave is apparently seeking other slaves of his that he believes the town is hiding. The mayor believes that that's not true, through it's not impossible. He is, after all, one man, for all he knows they are. And he would like it if you could all just maybe find them and at least tell the man where they are, so the Tevinter mage doesn't burn his town down.
So really, his ultimate goal is just make sure that Devinter doesn't burn the town down.
Yeah, he doesn't really care about the slave business. He just really does not want to have a Tevinter mage burn his town down. That would be nice.
Well, why don't we just go kill the Tevinter mage?
You can present that as an option. He'll just shiver and go, I don't think possible. Nope.
She'll
Yeah,
look.
he's
Valeria
a
will hold up
mage.
a hand to both.
Oh no, not a mage.
To both of her.
Before we do
comrades.
dive back into character, there, Kaylee. Could any of the four people who are familiar with the setting clue me in on, is there any real notable difference to care about between a Tevinter mage and any other?
Okay, I will explain this really quick.
The answer is yes.
Okay.
From
you know
a
the
mechanic
Chantry.
standpoint, no.
From a mechanic standpoint, no. Are you familiar with the Chantry? The religion in general.
I know it is a word in this setting.
Okay, it's like Christianity, because it's got the whole thing, their Christ figure's a woman, but it's basically Christianity.
Okay.
The thing in Tevinter is they kind of think that she was a mage. Their entire ruling class is mages. Their Templars are in, like, league with the mages. Their Templars don't do what actual Templars do anymore.
Mm-hmm.
With that in mind, they kind of don't have nearly as much of a taboo on the whole subject of, blood magic, summoning demons.
Slavery.
Essentially, their mages are unfettered, where ours have limits.
Yeah, there's
He's not any more dangerous than any apostate you'd come across who's
Exactly.
been practicing for a bit.
And he's no more dangerous than Sarabas is, because Sarabas also doesn't have these same limits. But in setting, they're more feared because they are kind of wild and
they're
they
ruthless.
revel
They
in
don't
it.
they don't give a shit. And if you're a mage, you're probably a noble of some sort in Tevinter.
Yeah, they have power both politically and magically.
Gotcha.
That doesn't make them necessarily more powerful as in, like, actual casters, so they have much more resources to become that kind of powerful.
Yes,
Yeah, they're
and-
likely to
and-
have the gear.
You'd think the local Templars would be doing something about him.
Yeah, and in our setting,
That's a good question.
our mages are very much so limited by the Templars, keeping them from doing shit.
Yeah, because Templars are anti-magic.
And Cerebus does bring up a good point when the local Templars don't seem to have done anything, because there is a chant. Because, of course, there is.
Okay. Carry on.
So, actually, I'm going to ask that. Why haven't the local Templars done anything about him?
They apparently left 2 weeks ago on a mission of grave importance to the capital, and then haven't returned.
Yes, we were in the capital during that.
Oh,
Yes, it's. Do not worry about that. She'll give a
Yeah,
glance at
so-
Sarabas.
Some jackass blew up a noble's house.
oh.
And the alienage.
Well, now we're vulnerable because of it, so I'm going to worry.
Well,
Don't know who could have done that.
she
It's an
swear
open
I will.
question.
She'll hold up a hand both for Lishin and Sarabas because she wants to make sure neither of them take this the wrong way for her. But that all being said, we can take care of this problem for you. But yes, we will not work completely for free. This is quite a risk.
Yes. He starts, like, he flails a little bit and, like, manages to snap his fingers enough to get the servant's attention, who nods and marches off. A chest of coin, yes, that'll do.
That depends on both the size of the chest and how full of coin.
At that, the servant returns and thumps a chest full of gold on the table. By chest, I mean it's about the size of the dwarf.
That will do.
Please.
Yep. We'll take care of it one way or another.
That's about, 300 gold about you're looking at.
Mogren, double check it for us, please. Out of
Always
character,
send the...
just making sure that it actually has gold in it all the way through it.
In that case, it is closer to 550 gold, and yes, it is full. Full to bursting, really.
It's always a dwarf that's got to deal with the money.
Something Jew analogy.
I would give it to someone else, but you do seem to enjoy it.
Shush.
Yeah, that's what I was half expecting.
No, he's serious. This is like I said, about 550 gold in an overstuffed dwarf-sized chest.
But yeah, Tevinter mage looking for slaves, not fun.
He also has the guard, the slave guard.
Rin finally, for the first time since finishing his supper, opens his mouth. Could we have a chance to confer among ourselves, please?
Yes, no, of course, no, but yes. And he shuts the chest and waves it off, and he himself scurries out like a scared hamster.
Where did these yokels get 500 gold? Is my first question after he does.
It's a pretty good question, honestly.
This is a roll just to make sure that they are actually gone.
From your judgment, yes. I mean, admittedly, he could be on this floor above you with his fucking face pressed to the floor listening, but
Yeah.
you doubt it?
Yeah, that's how I opened the conversation. Where did these yokels get 500 gold?
Not our concern. To be honest, I would just about do this without the payment.
Venters.
I've got no love for the Tevinter, but
I will point out to everyone that the only beings in any kingdom in the entirety of the world that slavery is illegal and kept is in Tevinter, and sorta technically for the Quinari, but for them it's mages only, and it's this weird deal.
Yeah, Qunari just enslave their mages because they think that mages are like the most dangerous thing ever, more than everyone else.
Yeah,
That's
I
where
don't know
rampant
where they
paranoia
got
about
that
magic.
impression
and
from.
to be honest, that's saying the same thing. The same thing Venison is basically a Ferelden. So
So point stands though that Tevinter enslaved just 80 goddamn body. So
Yeah, doesn't matter who you are in Tevinter. If you do something bad, you are now in indentured servitude for the rest of your life.
and your children's lives. Enjoy that.
I don't know where Kunari get the idea that mages are dangerous.
Yeah,
So
no
let's find a
idea.
building to burn it down.
yeah,
Quick question. Geographically, where is Orlais in this?
West. Look at the Ferelden
Yep.
map.
West of Ferelden.
West of Ferelden is Orlais. North is Tevinter. Further north are the Quinari. And south is no one goes there.
south is
Yes.
swamp.
South is swamp and awfulness and not many people there.
And witches that turn to dragons.
And other worse things.
Technically, north is the Tevinter, but it's also the Free Marches and Antiva and Ravane.
North's a bunch of stuff that don't get explored yet.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a lot north, but the thing that matters north would be Tevinter. That's like the closest northy thing.
The Free Marches are important, but
Okay. Good.
it's also the Anderfells above the Tevinter, which I believe are mostly important because that's where the Grey Wardens are based out of.
I'm curious about something. Sorry, switching back to in character.
There you go.
Yep.
Yep.
You said that the spider was to the south. I have to wonder if these escaped slaves actually made it away. I don't wish to return them, but I don't wish them to die either if we could help them.
In theory, I am fully in favor of making sure that there aren't any, slaves being kept, but, I've always had to kind of keep a certain amount of, frugality regarding it, because, you can't free everyone.
Okay, look. We go over there. We kill them. Our money problems are solved. Let's do it.
Yes.
Do we think we could get away with it? Because if he's offering that giant chest of gold, what reason do we have to think that the reward is not in scale with the problem?
Look at the yokels around here. You think any of them can fight him? Oh, you really think that gem guy is gonna take him? Ooh, he's scary.
That is the concern. We leave, this will burn. And if this burns, it will be on my conscience.
Look, he's a mage. We've got a
Rin
mage.
clamps his mouth shut and looks at Valyria, then gives a sort of shrugging nod as if, yeah, that sounds about right.
Does not mean we have to head in unwisely, however. We should definitely scout ahead. Mages die to a crossbow bolt as much as anything else.
I don't think I've gotten to kill a mage with a crossbow before.
What have you killed mages with before?
Hush.
Oh.
You've never killed a mage, have you?
Well,
Even if I had, I'm not going to go bragging about it right now.
I would not think many of us have.
Rin is nevertheless at the moment mostly just thinking about all the stories that he, as a city dweller, will have heard about the mighty Teventer Imperium and their terrifying mages, and be sufficiently cowed just by the idea of it. But he's keeping quiet.
Which is appropriate, because Deventer is honestly pretty terrifying.
Let's put it this way. Teventer has been at war with the Quinari people, who have gunpowder and cannons, for a couple hundred years. And while not winning, have not budged.
Yeah,
It's mostly been a back and forth.
Complete stalemate up there.
Yep, that's how good their magic is. It's essentially equivalent to gunpowder, and a lot of it.
Well, in universe, the Qunari have taken over a bit of Tevinter's space in that time, but not much.
It's slow going, and they take it back frequently, apparently.
It's slow going for the Qunari people who crush like everything else that comes before them.
And the Qunari are from Antiva, Andafel, or Seha?
Parvalan. They are farther north. They're on a different landmass.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
can barely
it's
see
right
a
at the
little
north of
corner
the
of
it. Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
And crossing a sea is partly why it's also taken a while.
So keep in mind, crossing the sea in ironclads with cannons when everyone else is sailboating.
I believe the
Yeah.
island of Sahara.
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 They fight
I
over
guess.
mostly.
Yeah, I believe that's actually in control of the Qunari.
It goes back and
very debated, yeah.
The locals are fighting for one part. There's this whole, like, Iron Bull has this whole conversation about it, but that's anything. Point is that a lot of fighting goes on there.
Right up.
And if you're wondering why they've only bought it to Venter versus, say, go to Antiva, it's because Antiva is full of assassins, and that's just a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, Antiva you can conquer, but then the people themselves are, impossible.
After the last Exalted March, the Qunari have a treaty with the Chantry.
Yeah. Well, the Chantry in Deventer is...
Yeah,
they have their own divine, let's put it that way.
Yeah, Teventer is a different Chantry, so they're not covered by the treaty. That's why they're still fighting with them.
So, anyways, about
Yes.
this poor man with his about this poor rich man with his problem that can be solved by apparently throwing gold at the first people who look like mercenaries to come by.
Lucky for him, it's us.
Unlucky for him, it's us.
Well,
Lucky for our viewers, it's us.
yeah.
Now, shall we bring them back in? She's looking to others and asking, so...
Don't see why not. I mean, anything else that needs to be brought up?
Just that I want to feast upon his eyes when we kill him.
I don't think either of us... I won't complain.
Why
I call dibs on the eyes.
Let him do as
I
he
mean, I
wills.
imagine they're all kind of beady and dried up.
Mage eyes are delicious.
During this,
Oh,
she's
take your
standing
word
up
on that.
and knocking on the door, like, figuring that a servant probably is listening for that.
Yep.
He opens the door after a moment and blinks. Are you? Yeah, hello.
We're finished speaking.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah, well, come. Have you taken the job?
Yes, we will.
Good. I don't know where the slaves are, really, but you could ask in town, or maybe there's the hunter folk who, maybe.
Yes. There's a small separate issue. I've heard of, speaking of hunter folk. There is apparently quite the vermin to yourself.
Oh,
Do you know you have a giant spider roaming your woods so close to town?
just one?
That we've found.
Oh, that's okay.
We will likely be removing it for you.
That would be lovely. Thank you. Keep an eye out for its mother.
It's a mother, you say?
Yes. Yeah. You don't know. Oh, right. You're traveling. Pardon. Well, there are marshes some northwest of here. Yeah. In the forest south. Well, sometimes from the marsh things happen, and things and spider the size of a house, and yeah.
I don't know if crossbow bolts do anything to that.
We tried to ballista once.
Regardless, hopefully you won't mind reimbursing slightly for the removal of the pest.
No, there's a standard bounty, and yeah. I believe it's 50 silver for a decent sized specimen.
Excellent. Hopefully we'll bring you good news about this mage shortly.
Good, yes, lovely, yes, please solve or burn.
That being said, she will negotiate with one bit here. Only a 12.
What's the negotiation?
That being said, for a risk such as this, we may need to equip ourselves.
With
A small
spoons?
forward of that coin to do so would be extremely helpful.
Oh.
We were not equipped to fight mages every day, sir.
Oh, I didn't mean to do the dog, but...
Yes,
Borf.
Lorraine has rolled.
Borf.
Well, he looks
He's
at
the best
you and just goes,
negotiator.
what? You have swords and eyes. Go find the slaves and return them, or tell them where they are, or something, please.
Mogren will, like, poke Valyria from the back and just kind of shake his head.
No, you don't need more than sharp sticks and eyes. Find the slaves, or bring them back, or just tell him where they are, and everything goes away.
Yeah, we'll handle it.
Very well. Is it
Goodbye.
agreement?
Okay,
One
goodbye.
out of character question. I guess whatever. I was just thinking if I had to roll etiquette, and that's for just to know how a deal should be sealed.
Probably with a handshake.
Yeah, so she will offer regardless.
He shakes her hand nervously. Bye bye. Yes, goodbye. Yes, goodbye. Goodbye.
And glad to be rid of his presence. She's
Without
a lady.
his noble.
The spit's not happening.
Well, you leave his nice warm house into the now cold air of night.
So, question 1. Why is it Deventer here?
If he's truly chasing down slaves, that could be reason enough, but it's
How
hard
would-
to know what he would want Mage alone, let alone to Vinter.
Why do I get the feeling that at some point in the future, I'm going to be trying to sneak into someone's camp to see if there's someone more important than we think they are?
Well, as you just volunteered.
It's not like anyone else was going to fucking do it. The rest of you can't sneak around for shit.
Well, we'd need to find him first, right?
Yes, that should be difficult at this time of night. However, we could also, depending, we could scout out briefly, see if we see firelight.
He said that this Deventer thinks that some of his slaves are hiding out here in town.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if they are. Deventer aren't generally stupid for being crazy.
But has anyone seen a Kunari or another elf along? As it was implied that that was mostly them.
Mogren. You, Hans Mogren, his axe and his and his other in case of danger equipment, so that he's down to just his traveling clothes and the and maybe some of his small stuff that fits in belt.
You prepping to go to the deep roads or something? This is a suicide march? What?
I'm going to take a bit of a walk round the village. I'll see you guys by morning. If I don't see you by morning, come looking for me.
If you grab with the Deventer, I'm not to blame.
I doubt he's here. Like he won't be like in the inn. He won't be like camped out in someone's house. He'll be in the surrounding countryside, waiting for his threat to come down. So
Yeah, probably.
I'm going to go see if anyone's seen or heard about slaves passing through the area. And I think I have some ins, so to speak.
Speaking of an inn, they might know.
Well, don't get yourself killed. I can't carry all this shit forever.
And Rin's going to go look for any of the women who were haranguing him who might still be out, or even if he can just see any of them in any windows.
And I'm going to go hit on barmaids.
Ah, so he was really just, this all was a lie? He's going for a booty call?
Yeah.
No.
That just happens to be a secondary objective.
So you're
Well,
looking for one of the ladies who was haranguing you, yeah?
yes. Because that is because using his reputation so far is the only way he's going to get any reasonable gather information. Put bunny ears around that if you want to. Quotes.
Well, it's not too hard to find one. It's just a matter of if you look for a specific kind of woman, I guess. I mean,
Not one of the the older women, but other than that, he's not picky.
well, you find one that's obviously married who keeps shooting you looks.
Yet Rin's foolish enough that'll do.
Well, then, she's a pretty thing. Young, raven-haired, brown-eyed.
He sees her wear on.
Peasant wear, but pleasant. I mean, it's nice market wear. She's only still out about because her husband had some business with the blacksmith, apparently.
I mean, where does he run into her?
By the blacksmith, as I said, to her husband. At some
Okay.
last minute, like just before market closes for the day. Or, well, it's technically closed, but the blacksmith is always open, so you know what I mean.
Ah, good eve, miss.
Hello. She keeps
It's
twirling her hair at you.
Rin stands near her, not too close, but just slightly closer than talking range. My goodness, it does get cold around here at night.
Oh, very, very cold. She's obviously very flustered at this stage. She wasn't expecting you to just saunter up like this.
Pray tell, what are you doing out and about?
Oh, just waiting, and had some business with the blacksmith. It's well done now.
Well, this village is awful small. The woods are close. Are you safe on your own?
Well, with you, then, of course.
I know Rin's an elf and his con is 0, but his strength is 3, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. He looks muzzled.
Yeah, you're not going to throw yourself in front of anybody, but you could probably wrestle the wolf to the ground.
Yeah.
Kinky?
Well, I was just out. I was, after a long day at market, I was, perchance looking for, some company for some fine talking. Perchance I recognized you.
I mean, of course. I mean, yes.
Have you anywhere we could get out of the cold and perhaps sit down with a cup of tea?
Now she's blushing like mad. She quickly giggles insistently and basically just points to a house in the distance.
I forget, didn't Rin pick up a focus in seduction?
It's not a focus, it's the talent.
Right.
You gotta go get laid in a moment. What's your point?
I just find it very amusing if he actually rolled for it.
I mean, he's going to have to.
Well, more to the point, all the talent gives me is a reroll.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, his plan over the next half hour is to, through conversation that might appear to be on the way to seduction, try to find out about recent happenings in this place. He is very interested.
Well, start with a seduction roll, because that will base how swept off her feet she is. She is, but like what level?
Yep, that is communication seduction. Yeah. Alrighty.
Due to your focus, you have a reroll. Would you like to use your reroll? I cannot determine whether or not it's a success or failure for you. You just have to determine it yourself.
If I take the reroll, I have to use the second result. So
yep.
A 13's a fairly good
above
roll.
average, and you can use that on flirt.
Yes, flirt in your seduction roll.
Well, you might as well.
Are you keeping it, sir?
Checking.
I don't know what the flirt with, like, the seduction roll without the flirt is. Like, you just show them your junk? I don't know what the...
No flirting, just action.
I mean, you got 4 or 5 and a 4. I'd say go for it.
You rolled well. I suggest keeping it.
Yeah. I am going to use those on the assumption that it passes. I'm going to be putting those stunt points towards...
Well, let's find out.
Flirting.
Holy crap. All right, well...
oh, Jesus.
So maybe he did just show her the goods.
Honestly, it's kind of hard to get her to her house. She's too busy trying to fuck you right in the street. Okie dokie. She's willing to tell you whatever you want to hear, though.
In between goo-goo eyes and, like...
vigorous humping.
I will not put this towards sway the crowd. I will not put this towards sway the crowd.
Do it!
Do it in the middle of town. Woohoo!
Ahem.
That's when Rin is chased out of town by the horde of husbands.
Yeah, pretty much.
I am going to put those 4 stunts towards Tower of Will so that I have +1 in any further checks I need to
You're
make.
thinking it all wrong, guys. He uses the other one to sway the crowd on the husband.
Oh.
Please
I
don't.
mean,
As
he
much
is
as that
androgynous.
might save my life, I'm putting it towards Tower of Will.
Okay, Tower of Will it is. What do you want to try and harangue out of her?
No haranguing at all. Rin would like to very politely just talk to her at length and through through the next hour or so. Yes, thank you. Find out about events around the town, and he's very interested in her in order to keep leading her on towards knowledge. And if he happens to hear any interesting rumors that might be these missing slaves all the well, and if as the evening gets darker no one else comes home, things may progress.
You're assuming you get that far.
That's the plan. You tell me how it falls out.
All I need from you is a gather information, focus, communication roll.
Let's make it so he can't put this section up on YouTube.
I could do that, but I'm not going to.
Okay. You said communication
with a focus in gather information if you have it, but I know you don't. So communication roll.
Communication with the +1 from Tower of Will.
And plus whatever your communication skill is, which is
0.
Wow, you suck at this. But you rolled enough. Good news, thanks to your previous extreme success, that affects this roll. You get mostly inside the house, I guess. Before she starts, trying to screw your brains out. But on the way there, you get some information. Let's see. Rumors. Here we are. 3 things stand out to you amongst the insistent grabbing of your body on the way there. Number one, according to rumor, someone she talked to who talked to someone else, that kind of thing, gossip mill stuff. Someone had seen a band of dwarves in the woods to the west, the east. It was east. Eastwards, a little bit north. Just a band of dwarves, apparently. Just silly. What else? There is rumor that there is a hunter camp to the north that the mayor has told everyone to stay away from because of some sort of dangerous beast in the wild, maybe even like a young dragon or something, and everyone's really excited about that. And the final rumor of note that she gets to you before she gets your pants off is that, at least according to the local huntsman, that big spider that's been bothering everyone is either moved away or died or something, because no one's seen it in a good long while. Or any trace of it, for that matter, because that something that big usually leaves a pretty big trace.
And yet we ran into it.
Not that spider, the big one.
Ah.
That spider you saw was just a giant spider. The giant spider that produces those giant spiders is the size of a house, according to the mayor. So he told you that.
Who obviously is the most
trustworthy
great
man
judgment.
there is,
yeah, we trust everything he says, and he couldn't exaggerate anything.
But it is quite possible it's just bigger than that.
Yep. Where did you say these dwarves were? Because you said east and then west and then...
Sorry, yeah, I got that way. Eastwards, a little bit north.
I don't even know what map you just pointed on.
Oh, well, I meant on the Goldberry map. They are east and a bit north of Goldberry. Relative to the main road goes west through Goldberry.
Yep.
It's mostly east, but slightly north that the East Dwarves were spotted.
Okay.
And you're going to be busy for the rest of the night, whether you want to be there or not. So, everyone else, what are you up to?
I think it was mostly that they're going to sleep.
That one just going to bed? Alright.
Yeah, I wanted to try to bag a barmaid, but he stole my thunder. So.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
you're not in anything with that roll. He took all the good luck we have left.
So, wait, what was the roll?
No, just the two rolls there. That was all of our good luck. It's all gone now.
Oh, well, maybe. What do you want to do, Sir Preston?
I'm sleeping.
Alright, if you're all just going to go back to the inn for naps, then that's that.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, who's not going to the inn?
Well, Valeria's going to the inn, but she's going to at least ask questions about the innkeeper, who is the most likely person to know anything going on.
Gather information communications, please.
I will say that I am being yelled at to go do something.
Well, then go do the thing.
We'll be ending session in a few minutes anyway.
She only has a +2. She's just only asking him, basically, if he's heard anything about this problem.
Answer is nope. Or, well, to be more accurate, you would get the information. He just doesn't know anything special. What's funny is he does know the same rumor that she was talking about, dwarves in the northeast. Just a band spotted by someone off hunting, and everyone's been chatting about how weird that is. Other than that, no rumors to really share of any interest.
Well, if that's that...
Well, yeah, that is... Sorry, I was distracted. That is, in fact, that will be the session, then. As Valeria goes to bed, and Rinlashin does not. At all. He doesn't even make it to the bed.
But yet he still sleeps.
Nah, she wouldn't let him.
That's not how that works.
That's exactly how this
Will we
works.
see him again in the morning and he's just got massive bags under his eyes?
Pretty much.
But all the hickeys.
And you're assuming that when she pointed at this house, it's not her house. It's her sister's.
Yeah, well, that would be good for the husband situation, but we'll find out about that as soon as I find out who put this map of dwarves up in the corner
That
of
was
the map.
me. Because
Yeah.
that way, that's the dwarfs. They're that way.
I mean, whatever. Actually, I'm writing this notes down, Renlishin. You are going to have to roll for a Constitution because
No, roll
The
for their
thing is
chest
that-
too. Roll
yeah,
for
that
it.
too.
Why
Thing
are there
is that
two
that
dogs?
sister? That sister is
You know, that's a good question.
going to invite others,
Symmetry.
and basically you're going to have most of the town lined up outside the door and just kind of they're gonna cycle through you for a bit.
So I'm gonna have to make
Start charging.
I'm gonna have to make an escape check at some point here.
If
No,
you
just
want to live, probably
Roll a profession man-whore check.
that might also work. I mean, if you want to start charging for it, I mean, they might roll with that.
And that's when somehow there's all half-elven children all throughout the village.
That might also be a problem, but that'll be a problem 9 months down the road. And hopefully, you're really, really far away at that point.
We're coming back from Orzammar from like the whole year's journey around thing, and it's just like
That's a lot of child support.
They should have
All
replaced
of
one of
this
the
is
dogs
only-
with the eighth dwarf from Once Upon a Time.
And all of this is only theoretical depending on how next session goes.
Well, I was going to start with Rinlishin, please roll an endurance check. Okay, there's another woman. Please roll an endurance check. And I say that until you decide I want to run now.
Death by Snoo Snoo.
His pelvis is broken.
But how can I run if I've failed the Constitution check? I